Welcome back to the second year, next chapter, that is solutions topic. In the previous video, we have seen the solubility of a gas in a liquid and also the factors affecting the solubility like nature of the gas, nature of the solvent, then the temperature. The third one is the pressure. Now let us see some applications of solubility of a gas, in a liquid. When we study these applications, there are so many such applications that we come across in our daily life. The first important application is in the preparation of carbonated beverages. When we consider this preparation of the carbonated beverages, when carbon dioxide is passed through the solution containing either sugar or salt, under high pressure, more carbon dioxide will be dissolved. So, as more and more carbon dioxide is dissolved, once a certain pressure is applied and certain amount of gas is dissolved, then that bottle containing the carbonated beverage will be sealed. Once the bottle is opened, that is the seal is opened from the bottle, then automatically dissolved carbon dioxide will be eliminated or coming out. So this is because of the decrease in the pressure in the atmosphere or in the surroundings. That's why the carbonated beverages are prepared by dissolving carbon dioxide under high pressure. The second one is in case of the deep sea divers. So usually they used to carry only the air, natural air in the form of the cylinder, which contains about 75% of the nitrogen and the remaining oxygen. When we consider such a cylinder, then when that person goes to the deep sea, there will be high pressure due to the saline water and hence more nitrogen and oxygen dissolve in the blood. When that person comes out of that sea, then automatically dissolved nitrogen will come out. So it causes various problems to the nervous system, that is especially blood nerves. Then the problem caused by that one is called the bends. So to avoid these bends, the deep sea divers, also called as the scuba divers, they carry the mixture of helium, nitrogen and oxygen. About helium about 11.7%, then the nitrogen about 58%, then the remaining oxygen. This mixture will be, this is around 69.7, it is around 30.3%. So this mixture is carried by the scuba divers so that the amount of the nitrogen dissolved in the blood will be less. Because comparing to this nitrogen and oxygen, helium is least soluble. That's why they carry the mixture of these three gases in the form of the cylinders. Then the third important one is at high altitude. At high altitudes, when a person goes to the high altitude, then automatically oxygen content will be less in the higher altitudes. Then automatically that person will feel the deficiency of the oxygen and hence he will become very nervous. So such a problem is actually named as the anoxia. It is because of the low atmospheric pressure, the amount of the oxygen dissolved in the blood will be very less and hence it causes the problem with the breathing. So such a problem is named as the anoxia. So this is all related to the solubility of the gas in a liquid. So to prepare the carbonated beverages, we use this high pressure. Applying high pressure, carbon dioxide is dissolved. Then deep sea divers, they used to carry only nitrogen oxygen mixture, that is air. But now it is replaced by these three, mixture of these three. It is because the helium is present in the mixture, the content of the nitrogen is decreased. So it avoids the problem called as the bends. The third one is at high altitude, because of the deficiency of the oxygen and also the atmospheric pressure is low, the amount of oxygen dissolved in the blood will be decreased. So that causes a problem called as the anoxia. So this is about the solubility of a gas in a liquid. The next topic that we study is the solutions of liquid in liquid. Liquid in liquid. As I told you in the introduction hour of this solution chapter, there are three types of solutions we consider: a solubility of a gas in a liquid, a solubility of a liquid in a liquid, and a solubility of a solid in a liquid. So the second kind of system that we consider is liquid in liquid. When two liquids are considered, there are three types of possibilities. One possibility is immiscible liquid mixture. Immiscible. Since the properties of the two liquids will be different, if one is polar and the other one is non-polar, then such liquids will not form the solution. They will be completely separated from one another. There will be two layers available. So such a liquid system is called as the immiscible liquid system. So for example, you consider this benzene plus water. Similarly, you consider this carbon tetrachloride plus water. Similarly, you consider this toluene plus water. So in case of these liquid mixtures, the carbon tetrachloride and water, toluene and water, benzene and water, these liquids do not mix with water even to a single drop extent. That's why such a mixture is called as the immiscible liquid systems. But actually in this solutions chapter we don't study these immiscible liquids. The second one is partially miscible. Partially miscible. Actually we use the term miscible rather than soluble. When one liquid is added to the other liquid, if only a small part of that liquid is dissolved in the other liquid, then such a system is called as the partially miscible. Say for example, we are taking this phenol added to water. So let us consider in the form of a simple experiment. First you take about 10 or 15 ml of water. Then you add one drop of phenol, it completely dissolves. If you add second drop of phenol, then also it dissolves. But when further drops are added, then automatically two layers will be produced. One layer consisting of, assume that this is the vessel in which we are preparing. This is the phenol in water. This is one solution. This is water in phenol. Water in phenol. That is, here water is the solute, phenol is the solvent in the upper layer. Here phenol is the solute and water is the solvent. So two layers are formed, which is forming the partially miscible liquid system. But in each part there will be a homogeneous mixture. So phenol in water is one solution, water in phenol is another solution. About this also we don't much consider in this particular chapter. But to give one or two extra informations, if you go on increasing the temperature, the mutual solubility of phenol and water goes on increasing. At one particular temperature they become completely miscible. That is actually called as the miscibility temperature. But anyhow we don't consider such a liquid mixture also. So in the third case, what we study in this chapter is completely miscible liquid systems. So even if you add one drop to the 100 ml of another liquid or one drop of that liquid to the 100 ml of the other one, there will be complete miscibility. So such a solution is called as the completely miscible solution. Suppose I take alcohol, for example methyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol, then add to this water. Even if you add one drop to this 100 ml of water or 100 ml to one drop of water, there will be complete miscibility. So such a solution is considered as the solution of a liquid in another liquid. Similarly, we can consider this sulfuric acid and water. Similarly, we can consider HCl plus water. Usually we are taking water as one component. The other liquid will be either alcohol or sulfuric acid or HCl or HNO3, etc. So such a mixture will form completely miscible in one another, and hence such a solution is called as a completely miscible system or solution of liquid in liquid. So about this completely miscible liquid systems, we will study in detail in this particular chapter, that is called as the solutions chapter. So before going for that next video about the solution of one liquid in the other liquid, we have to consider one important concept, that is the vapor pressure. Vapor pressure. So what about this vapor pressure and how it varies, how it depends on the nature of the solvent, etc. we will consider in the next video. Thank you.